Shalom. When the self soars by giving no praise to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushua, Ba'Shem Kwakadash, the belongs apostles, great most, and honestly, brothers doing the work of the Most High in truth and in sincerity. Yahweh's real name, of whom the world ignorantly calls God, Jehovah, Yahweh. His real name is Yahweh. His son's true name is Yahweh Shai. And when we pray Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushua, but meaning in, Hamin and then Sham, meaning names, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai. I was listening to the apostles earlier on, and I forgot who was watching, but basically, the statement, triggered a thought in my head, which is basically along the lines of, it ain't nice, seeing Jake in the state that they're in, our fellow brethren, right, just through, right, and we can't wait for a kingdom, wherein we're all good, wherein we're all righteous, man, wherein like Jake ain't, just degenerates, really, right? Because when you look at our people, man, for the most part, we through. For the most part, we a whole bunch of degenerates, man. It's Isaiah 1 and 3, right? Well, I'll start from here. The point I actually want is in 5. It says, but the ox knoweth his owner, and his ass, and the ass is master's crib. But Israel doth not know, my people doth not consider our sinful, and that's it, and that's part of the destruction wherein we are as a nation. Right, we don't know who we are. Right, we have, for the most part, a lot of the majority of our nation, has basically left off from knowing Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Right, whereas these two, quote, dumb animals know who their master is the children of Israel don't know. That's why, Hosea 4:6, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, right? Because thou hast rejected me, I'll also will reject thee. Verse 4 says, sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters, they have forsaken Yahweh, they provoked the Holy One of Israel to anger, they are gone away backward. Why should ye be stricken any more? Or you will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick and the whole heart is faint. That's what I wanted. Right? So from the sole of the foot even unto the head, there is no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises and putrefying sores. They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment. Right? So that is the state of our nation, man, just through. Right? And I was gonna, look for different clips and examples of just, how much of a low state that we're in. Right, but this kind of, I came across this tweet which kind of summarizes it, right? So remember back in 2020 when Joe Biden from Laverne Spice and this demonic black bitch, it looks like. So remember back in 2020 when Joe Biden said, "You're not black if you don't vote for me," and this part is part of the witchcraft that is played against our people, right? Because that's it, we're not black, right? We're the children of Israel, right? But part of that lie keeps Jake in this low state that they're in. It goes on to say, well, it's 2 years later, and what do blacks have to show for it, right? It says we can rob and loot and not go to jail for it, right? And you see all of those clips, right? Problem, reaction, solution, as an example of just like how, for instance, certain places you have, what's the word I'm looking for? You have shopping, right? As in, you go to a store and everything is behind glass, right? Because why? The images of Jake just going around, just looting everything, right? We can riot and destroy cities and not go to jail for it. You think about, the psyop that was a George Floyd thing, right? We can even kill people and not go to jail for it, right? Is this what equality looks like? Giving us all the fentanyl-laced drugs we want in hopes that we kill ourselves, and that's what that's what ultimately these devils want, because at the end of the day they want to make Jake the enemy. They want to make Jake the problem. And once again, you be seeing some of these clips, and then I'll be just reading like the right wing commentators' response to that, right? To some of the things that they're seeing, and they don't like Jake. They don't, and even more so, they hate the fact that they can't speak out against what it is that they're seeing, right? And hey, let's be real. Hey, us in this truth, hey, we don't like niggas too, man. We just keep it real, right? And hey, in fact, I'll go one further. How about Shimmy? I don't like niggas, right? That's why they gonna be done away with, right? This is Amos 9 and where is it? 8. This is Amos 9, no, 10, right? Amos 9 and 10. It says, all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us, right? So, hey, the sinners of the Lord's people, they gonna die, man, right? These ninjas that you see roaming around, right? They gonna be put down, and rightfully so, right? Because they're wicked, they ain't right. It will be the first one to tell you they ain't right. In fact, the scriptures go so much as to say in Ezekiel 9 and 5, but I'll start from 4, right? It says, and Yahweh has said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, right? Which Jerusalem is a people, before it's a place, right? It says, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry, right? So starting off the apostles on down, right? Where we hope to be those men, right? To get that mark of exemption. That's what Mark is referring to here, right? That cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof, right? And yeah, we be getting down on Esau, saying, yo, Esau's doing this, Esau's doing that, but hey, we be getting down on the wickedness of our own people too, right? It says, unto the others he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite, let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children, women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark. And what? And begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. So the Lord is going to be coming for Israel first, right? Lord's going, really, really let Esau open up on the wicked of our people, right? And once again, we understand why. We agree with it, right? Because our people have been brought low, right? So this is where we're at the moment, right? This is Lamentations 2:15. This is all that pass by, clap their hands at thee. They hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth? Salakia, right? So this is the position that we're in. I'm going to grab a few precepts on just where we're at the moment, right, and then where we hope and we can't wait to be, right, to the point where we are beautified, right? Because right now we ain't beautified. Right now we're low, but the Lord is starting to that cleanup process. Salakia, it says all that pass by, clap their hands at thee, right? They hiss and wag their head at the door of Jerusalem, saying, "Is the city that men call perfection, that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth." So that's it. It's like I read that before, right? But yeah. Slack, I just completely lost my trail of thought there. Saying. But if it comes back to me, I'll come back to that. But this is Deuteronomy 28:37 also, right? It says, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord Yahweh shall lead thee, right? So we are going to be this is part of the curses, right? And as such, we are a proverb and a byword. That's why you will walk by some of these heathens, right? And then they look at you funny, man. Here it is, you got the Edomite roaming around scot free. You don't get the same side eye, right? But Jay be getting hella side eye because of what a whole bunch of Jay, the whole name has been polluted, right? Jake just be doing a whole manner of just griminess, man, right? And then advertising and having it recorded so for the whole world to see. I remember was last summer, right? You had a whole bunch of niggas, right, just running up and down Oxford Circus, right, going into to shops, robbing stuff, man, right. And the thing is, especially if you know London, like Oxford Circus, that's like a hot spot for tourists, right. So then now imagine you just come from some country somewhere, some India or something, right? You never encountered personally, so-called black people before, right? You go, I'm going to London, I want to see Big Ben, I want to go shopping on Oxford Street, and you see a whole bunch of niggas just running around, right? Causing, mayhem, stamping on cars, right? What you gonna think, right? But that's it. That is the low position that our people are in. That or being strung out on drugs, just through like looking like the zombie people, just through, right? That ain't for us. Yeah, we understand what it is, the curses, but hey, we can't wait for the day when you don't have to walk past a Jake that's strung out on drugs, that's living on the streets through. This is Wisdom 5 and 3. I'm going to come back to Wisdom in a bit, right? It says, and they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom he had sometimes in derision, and the proverb of reproach. We fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor, right? Because right now, when you, once again, when you look at what is portrayed, right, in the media, right, about our people, and then the unfortunate truth is, right, Jay, you can have like a whole bunch of Jay just being quote unquote good, right, but then you just have niggas, right, they'll just come out, they'll come out of the woodwork and ruin it for everyone, right? Because once again, this is the place of our captivity. This is a place where we was never gonna get any rest, right? We was always gonna be looked down upon, right, and downtrodden. But it's a beautiful thing, right? As we're about to read, right, in the next precept of about what the Lord is gonna do, right? So once again, this is where we're at. So I'm gonna read into a little bit, right? But this is where we're at. But the Lord is gonna change this, right? The Lord is in the process of changing this. So this is Ezekiel 36 from 17. It says, the Son of Man, when the house of Israel dwelt in their own land, they defiled it by their own way and by their doings. Their way was before me as the uncleanness of a removed woman. So that's why we got moved out of the land, because we was doing wickedly, right? And that's how we know that those people that are inhabiting that land at the moment, they gonna be removed out that land, but this time by way of fire, man, right? Because that's the thing. That's one of the prerequisites of being in that land is um, you got to live right, right? And the history proves that. Which you can read through the scriptures. The inhabitants, whenever they went off, they got removed from the land of Israel. Verse 18, wherefore I poured my fury upon them for the blood that they had shed upon the land, and for their idols wherewith they had polluted it. And I scattered them among the heathen, and they were dispersed through the countries according to their way, and according to their doings I judged them. And when they entered unto the heathen whither they went, they profaned my holy name, when they said to them, these are the people of Yahweh, and are gone forth out of his land. Right? And hey, this is what happens. We'll be going around, saying, hey, we're the children of Israel, right? And then a nigga go and walk by doing nigga shit, right? But hey, this is the power of the Lord, because at the end of the day, that right now, yeah, that Jake is doing nigga shit, or that Jake is strung out on drugs, but in the kingdom, that is still gonna be higher than a Rothschild, right? That Jake is gonna be higher than any of the heathens, man, right? Because we are still the chosen people, just like how in this world, right, the Edomite, which is the basis of men, right, has been promoted, right, above Israel, really, right? Yeah, ultimately we've got that spiritual connection to Yahweh Shine. We shall to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shine. We shall prevail at the end. But right now, what does the scripture say in Job 9:24? Right, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So Esau's got rulership of the earth at the moment. Right, Ecclesiastes 10. Right, I've seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth. Right, and that's an error in the earth, man. That's an error in the world. Right, verse 21. Right, so yeah, well, wherever it is, Jake's just we're a pollution to the surname, right, that we have been given, right. And verse 21, but I had pity for mine holy name, which the house of Israel had profaned among the heathen whither they went, right. Because in fact, let me just read it, because it's going to explain it, right. It says, therefore say unto the house of Israel, thus saith the Lord power, I do not this for your sakes, O house of Israel, but for mine holy name's sake, which ye have profaned among the heathen whither ye went. Right, so the Lord has, for His own sake, for His name's sake, right, it has provided us a way back to the former glory, right, a way back to the point where we ain't through no more, a way back to the point where we can, we'll be beautified, okay, but all for His holy name's sake. And I will sanctify my great name, which was profaned among the heathen, which ye have profaned in the midst of them. And the heathen shall know that I am Yahweh, and saith the Lord power, when I shall be sanctified in you before their eyes, right? And that's it, right? It says, for I'll take you from among the heathen and gather you out of all countries, and I'll bring you into your own land. Then will I sprinkle clean water upon you, and ye shall be clean from all your filthiness, and from your idols will I cleanse you, right? And this goes into the new covenant. Right, but slowly but surely, even on this side, the Lord is getting us right. The Lord is setting up an order, right? And Esau don't like that. Esau wants to keep this image of Jake being degenerate, right? Esau wants to keep that image and lie going, right? So that's why when he sees brothers moving respectfully, in fact, that's one of the things Yahushua says. Then shall they know, um, uh, 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 that basically you are disciples by the love that you have for one another, right? And our King have witnessed that, right? You know, be out at somewhere that we eat regularly, and then the owners are kind of like, "Yo, what's going on here?" Right? Why do they have such, mad love and respect for each other? What is this? you know, and that's it. So the Lord is starting to do that, right? For our brothers in the truth, we don't, walk around, thinking we're some lowly beings. No, we understand who we are, right? And we also understand the position that we're in at the moment, which is that this is hell and we're going to lose, right? On this side, right? But we understand that in the kingdom to come, which is why we look forward to it, pursuant to what Hebrews 13 and 14, right? We understand that in that kingdom, yeah, we go and then be able to exercise, our the power, right? But in this side, this is a place where we lose, right? But once again, the point is we hold ourselves in high esteem. We carry ourselves. We try not to let that defeated mentality, that defeatist, if you will, maybe, I don't know, but that defeatist demon, right, ride us, because at the end of the day, we're Yasha Allah, He Prince of the Power, right? This is Psalms 149, and 4. This is for the Lord, Yahweh taketh pleasure in his people. He will beautify the meek with salvation, right? And I'm going to go back now to Wisdom 5 and read into it. It says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. And that's what these nations are going to start seeing, right? Because right now they're seeing us getting an order and stuff like that. But when it comes time to the salvation, right, when it comes time, to fulfill these different precepts, right, they gonna be troubled with terrible fear, as they say, right? So when they see, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for, right? Because we're gonna be, Lord's will be of the elect, gonna be beamed up into them chariots. It says, and they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom he had sometimes in derision, and a proverb of reproach. We fools accounted his life madness, and his end to be without honour. How is he numbered among the children of the Most High, and his lot among the saints? Right, therefore have we erred in the way of truth, and the light of righteousness hath not shined unto us, and the sun of righteousness hath not rose upon us. Right, so here it is right now, we're at this bottom, right? But hey, we gonna be risen up. We going the Lord is going, redeem his elect, as we read in Psalms 149. Right, he will beautify the meek with salvation. Right, it starts off with the elect, right, and then the kingdom. Right, and this is what we're looking forward to, right? And there's always a temptation to read more of Isaiah 60, right? But I'm just gonna go straight to the point. Right, in the kingdom, it says in Isaiah 60 and 21, thy people also shall be all righteous, right? So once again, no more being strung out on drugs, no more being, hateful towards, a brother, as in, as in Israel amongst themselves, right? Currently the curse is thine eye shall be evil towards thy brother, right? But that's going to be done away with in the kingdom. And we're going to be all good. We're going to all love each other, man, right? It says they shall inherit the land forever, right? Because we'll never go off, so we'll never be spewed out of it, right? The branch of my planting, the work of my hands, that I may be glorified. Because once again, this is all to glorify Yahweh Hashem Shai, That's why we read in Ezekiel 36 um, that, what did it say? That basically the Lord will be beautified. Um, what did it say? Yeah, and then 23, and the heathen shall know that I am Yahweh, saith the Lord power, when I shall be sanctified in you before their eyes. Right? So back in Isaiah 60:22 now says, "At a little one shall become 1,000, and the small one a strong nation. I, Yahweh, will hasten it in his time." So the Lord is gonna basically make it such that um, we just gonna be having babies, man. Right? We just gonna be having babies. We gonna be growing. It's all gonna be good, man. I'm just gonna end with this Revelation 21:4. And the Most High shall wipe away all the tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. Right? So all of the crying, Jay growing up, in losing siblings, to gun crime, or losing parents to drugs, right? Parents might still be alive, might still be in the house even, but the parent ain't around because they're always bloody high. Okay, there will be no more of that in the kingdom, right? All the suffering that we've gone through in this world, there'll be no more in the kingdom, right? And Jake being low, that certainly will be no more in the kingdom, right? So as always, Lords of Laws edifying. Till next time we say, Shalom.